We got James Strange in the house. For those of you who don't know, now you're going to find out. We got this guy. He's a veteran, business owner, been in the wrestling business, 30 years?
86.
I mean,
It's been a minute.
a long time. Puts a lot of stuff together, a tremendous amount for us here at SOM. And, not a lot of people know really anything that you've got going on, and they just see the product and us wrestling and all the stuff that goes on, but they don't really know how that happens, and you're a big part of how that happens. So
A lot of behind the scenes.
a lot of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So how did you start out in the wrestling business? What got you involved in it?
Well, I'm a huge wrestling fan, have been for all my life. My grandfather got me into wrestling, big time when I was a kid. We used to go watch all the Southeastern, Ron Fuller, Robert Fuller, Jimmy Golden, all those people on the South, Ron Wright, the Mongolian Stomper, Ronnie Garvin. I can go on and on.
And this is live, not just on TV, right?
No, we used to go to a lot of the shows.
What was that like back in the day, the experience of sitting there as a kid, getting to see that
It was
live?
unbelievable because, kayfabe then was still very much real, and they protected the business. Being a fan, you always had that doubt, is it for real or is it not? But, man, what a show. And they ran some great storylines, and it was awesome, man. I got to see Harley Race defend the world title a couple of times for Fuller at the Coliseum in Knoxville. And in fact, if nobody knows, we have a lot of photos here at the school, and
It's a museum.
well, we got a lot of stuff down because we've remodeled. I got 3 boxes of pictures that are down, but we're going to put them back up, build a wall. But I have a picture I took, I think 1974, 75, of Harley going to the ring to fight Fuller at the Coliseum. Pretty cool photo. Had a chance to show that to Harley, and he thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and we actually saw the robe he had on. We're at WrestleMania, and they had it at the Access.
Yeah.
They actually had that robe
That you
at the
saw him
Access,
wear?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
in the 70s. So
That's
I thought
crazy.
that was pretty cool.
That is.
But I've been a wrestling fan first and foremost all my life. And then,
Well, what's your main memory from going to shows? Like, if you had to pick one moment that you were like, this is as good as it got, seeing the show for myself.
well, seeing Ronnie Garvin hit the Stomper with a scoop shovel at the Coliseum. Pretty cool. We've got to see a lot, and from that day, so that influences me a lot. And I listen to the Studcast. So if you really want to know about the older 70s pro wrestling, man, Ron Fuller's podcast is awesome. He tells a lot of great stories. In fact, he's doing a week-by-week thing about Southeastern wrestling right now, which
really?
I thought was pretty interesting. Talk about the angles and who they had against each other on the TV show. So it's really, really good. Really good.
So when did you decide that you wanted to be a wrestler?
It
or
was
did
an
you just
accident.
want to get in the business?
Listen, I never really had any aspirations about getting into wrestling. It's a guy I worked with said he had trained to be a wrestler, and he was about as big as a minute. And I thought, man, if he could do this, I could do it. So, in fact, he hooked me up with a guy who, God rest his soul, Cecil Dotson, who was a local guy here, and he got me hooked up with a guy named Carol Dickerson and a really good wrestler that was here, local guy, Terry Lawler. And they were running shows, and I got hooked up with them, and then they co-promoted a show with the Samoan, who Nick out of Morristown. He was training a guy that a lot of people know, Killer Kyle, who was on Smoky Mountain, and he's worked in WWE in a bunch of different places, as an enhancement guy. But he was really, guy's a tremendous worker, and he actually trained me and a couple other guys. And when I got into it, I worked with a really great guy that Ricky Harrison. A lot of the older outlaw fans in this area will know who I'm talking about. He's a really tremendous worker. Him, Jamie Gibson, or Jamie Hayes, who we worked a lot. Really good guy, good worker. Just a lot of fun. And then you have aspirations about going obviously to the big time and that kind of stuff, but never. Yeah, I was an indie worker, worked independent shows, and never
Yeah.
really tried to go to the next level. And I don't know how that would have worked out if I had of. Who knows?
Right.
But, got out of it for a while, and I had moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and was out of the business for a while. And then we promoted a show at a car dealership I was running because I was in the car business, and man, we drew about 5,000 people.
How'd that
So
feel?
that kind of, well, it was a free show.
Yeah.
It was a car show we had, and it was tremendous. It was huge. So it just got the fire burning again to really try to get into it. And
Right.
in fact, that's the first time I'd met Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
Is at that show, him and Robert. And Bud Adams, who was a good friend of mine, the spoiler. And we worked and had the show, and I decided to do.
So you wrestled on that show?
Yeah, I wrestled
okay.
the Samoan.
Was
And,
that as far as you had gone out, or when you were wrestling
Oh,
before
no,
you went?
no. When I was wrestling before, we went a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Virginia, and in the South, Alabama, Georgia, and all these areas around
Yeah.
here. 4, 6, 7 hours is probably the most.
Right.
But yeah, I stayed booked a lot. Worked in North Carolina a lot, here in Tennessee.
The hotbed.
Well, East Tennessee is the worst. It wasn't as bad as it is today because everybody in East Tennessee is a pro wrestler. Most of them need to see Ricky Morton and train, because they're fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Seriously, they're really bad. But, here nor there. Everybody's a wrestler. And I heard Jim Cornette on a podcast say, this is the worst area for pro wrestling in the country. This or Mississippi, which
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Mississippi, but I know there's a lot of groups around this area. The only one that I know that's probably really, really pretty good is the guy King Sport.
Yeah.
I think he runs a really good show and has for many years.
Yeah. Well, you had that huge show. You got to get in contact with Ricky Morton, and I've had the benefit of working with you and working shows that you're putting on. And I mean, I haven't been wrestling for very much longer than a year, and Beautiful Bobby, Ricky Morton, Jimmy Valiant, the list goes on of people that you've had connections with, and because of that I've been able to learn from. So I mean, how do you get to the point where you're running these successful shows and you're meeting really the masters of the craft?
Well, I'd worked those guys years before. I've known Jimmy Valiant probably 30 years or more, and I've worked him when he was in his prime.
Wow.
Okay, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, how was that?
It was cool. He's a big guy, and Barbarian too. Worked a bunch of those people. Ronnie Garvin and a lot of different guys. You get to
Yeah.
work when they came in, especially working with Bud Adams as a spoiler. Yeah, I wasn't the spoiler all the time, but I was a spoiler with him quite a bit. And
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I worked a lot of Christmas shows. I would come in from Charlotte here home, and most of the time the Duggars were having a show in Bristol, Morristown, and I would work with Bud as the other spoiler. And we'd work Terry Garvin and Jimmy and Barbarian and Terry Garvin, or Jimmy Golden and Terry Garvin, different people. I got to work Wahoo McDaniel.
How was that? What was
Very
that?
awesome. He beat the shit out of me, but it was pretty cool. He broke my nose.
Were you smiling
Interesting
about it?
story. No, I was a little pissed about it, but I was a little scared to hit him back. I was afraid he might kick me.
No receipt for that one.
No. It was interesting stuff, man.
Yeah. But that's like stepping up to another level, right? When
Man,
you get
those guys are awesome. I mean, working Ricky and Robert's like, I don't even know how to explain it, how smooth, and their timing is unbelievable. Truly. Really
Yeah.
good stuff. So,
Jesus, take the wheel.
yeah,
Right?
no, they know what they're doing. I mean, it's pretty. It's
makes it an easy day,
match.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So after that, I did a show in South Carolina called UCW,
Yeah.
which right now High Spots has all the footage from that, and they're going to do a DVD about
Really?
it. Well, one of the guys that does the video was a big fan. He was a kid
Oh,
at the
really?
time, so they're doing a lot of. He hadn't sent me the footage yet, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. He's going to interview a lot of the guys that worked that show. I mean, we did it for about 3 years, had television.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I made some pretty decent money with that promotion, and it was a lot of fun. Had a school there with Jimmy Valiant. Jimmy would come in once a week and train people for me, and we did a show once a month and did TV every week. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So, of all of these learning trees that you've had the opportunity to sit underneath, which one has provided the most knowledge?
Well, I'm going to say Tom Pritchard first.
Yeah.
Man, we worked with Tom in Knoxville Rocky Top that I had in the NWA, and he's just an awesome guy. Man, so knowledgeable. Him and Jimmy Golden actually booked that show, and it was a really good learning experience, how to book and that kind of stuff. But Jimmy Valiant taught me a hell of a lot. He's a pretty smart guy when it comes to wrestling, and we've used a lot of that stuff here, to do School of Morton, which having Ricky here too, which Ricky's a pretty busy guy right now since the Hall of Fame and all that kind of stuff. He stays booked a lot.
Right.
He's not here a ton, but when he is here, he's on fire. If you're here, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
What he's teaching.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome.
It is.
I mean, he would help anybody. I don't care what level you are. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Always enhancing the game. I don't think I've ever been able to go through like 30 seconds of a wrestling match without him finding something and making me elevate myself
And it's
every time.
always the little things.
It's the little
too.
things,
Your
yeah.
footwork,
Yes.
or just any kind of emotion, your facial expressions. It's always something. I mean, he's so
Yeah.
good at picking out stuff. I mean, people, not just because I own the school, but I mean, man, he's so awesome. Really, truly, he's good at
Right.
what he does.
So, what planted the seed for SOM, for School of
Man,
Morton?
it's
How did it happen?
7 years ago. We've been in business going on our 6th year. But me and Ricky met for lunch, and I asked him if he wanted to do a school, and he said, "Man, it'd be awesome." And it took us forever to find a building, but we wanted something that we could get that was going to be cheaper, so we could stay long term. I wasn't really sure here in East Tennessee how it was going to go, okay? Because every son of a bitch is a wrestler in this area, or they've got in the ring, they're known somebody. So a lot of people said, man, it'll be tough here to have a school, it'll be tough to do anything, but we did it anyway, and it was tough at the beginning. We had one student, and it took forever to, probably a year or so, we had 5, 6 students. And you got to pay for the rent every month, and the lights and the water, and it's a little tough. It still is, it's not
Yeah.
cheap, because now we rent the entire building.
Right.
Where at first we had one little room with one small 14-foot ring that we made from scratch, and now we have 4 rings, and we've grown tremendously over 6 years. It's amazing how far we've came. It's crazy, but we're doing.
What we're doing now is a testament to that. Right?
Well, we've had a lot of people come and go, okay, and some people needed to go. One in particular that's I would say he's like dog shit on the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah.
Okay, I just go to the grass and squish it off and wipe him off. But we've had some really good people come through, and we've had 2 or 3 that are really shitty people that I'm glad they're gone.
Yeah.
After you figure out really who they are.
Right.
But man, where we came from and where we're going, unbelievable. The equipment and everything we have now to do TV, and that's why we want to build our own product. And some of our guys are going on to do very well. Luscious Lawrence is up in OVW, doing really well. I love Lawrence. Lawrence, I love you, but he was pretty tough to work with sometimes, because he would no-show shows and do stuff. But I understand, he wants to do this for a living. He's got a great body and is doing pretty well. So I hope he was at Ring of Honor, I think, yesterday.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. So
well, he's been at OVW, right? Is that what it's been?
Yeah, he's working with Al Snow.
promotion. I mean, that's.
It's a
credit
good
to him
learning
for sure,
tree.
yeah.
Him and Anthony Catina's there too.
Oh, yeah.
Which Anthony just came on with us, and he's going to work with us
Right.
full time now. So, man, we got some great talent. I like building our people. I've been totally against trying to bring in outside people, because a lot of times brought in some outside people, and for some reason you can't depend on them. I don't know why, what goes on. I
Seems
know
to be with
Shane
anything,
Williams
really.
told me that they just don't understand how to do business. I believe that sometimes, I don't know.
Right. Well, I'm sure the mindset you're coming from and dealing with the way things have evolved so rapidly within the last 10 years, I mean,
It's
a lot
completely
of things have changed. Yeah.
Well, when we did Rocky Top, I had a backer, and it was costing about $6,000 a month to do the production, TV. You just couldn't do everything we did, the editing and all that kind of stuff, the talent. Now we can do it bare bones. Now we've spent some money on equipment, but now we can do HD webcam videos, just like what we're using right now.
Right.
And all the computer equipment. We can edit everything ourselves. I mean, it's ridiculous the difference. It's a bare bones cost now.
Right.
What you can do. Plus the platform's really changed. I think TV's kind of dead.
Radio
honestly.
and TV are
It's
hard markets to
it's
prove
more the
value in anymore.
internet-based stuff that's really we're figuring out slowly, but trying to figure everything out.
Right. So
I wish
what's
I
the
had all the
vision?
answers.
In 5 years, where do you see what this is going to evolve into? What's the plan for
Well,
growth?
the vision is just growth, more growth, and being on a huge platform. We have a really good following now. We have thousands. I think it's close to 70,000 people on all platforms that follow us.
Yeah.
So we have a huge following. I know a lot of that's Ricky Morton.
Yeah,
having him on
absolutely.
board. It's amazing. I'm hoping we're going to be a big promotion, but I want to build the people that are around here working hard, training. We got Crazy Steve here.
Yeah, that's
training
been
a couple
awesome.
nights a week, and he's really elevating everybody's game that
He is.
comes. We've had a lot of different people come into the school and do seminars that people probably don't even know. We
Yeah.
had Road Warrior Animal here.
Well, Chase Owens just popping in, and
Chase
you never
Owens
know
has been here,
when
but
he's
Chase
gonna
is
be here,
moving to Texas. I think that was the last time he may be here for a
Right.
minute because he's moving.
Yeah.
But no, Chase has been great. I mean, he's been here a lot
Yeah.
since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Chase was here when we first started almost every night.
Yeah.
So he trained a lot of the older guys that are still here that did great. you
Yeah.
know. So he's been
The
tremendous.
Heat
Yeah,
Seekers were around a lot.
Elliot Russell
Yeah.
was here and did a lot of training for us. Different people.
I mean, that's a lot of great talent coming in and showing people the ropes. I mean, like I said, beautiful Bobby, Jimmy Valiant, Ricky. I've been blessed to have the opportunities to
Yeah, Manny
get nuggets of knowledge. Manny
Fernandez.
Fernandez. How could I ever forget? That was amazing because he had a way of like making things look so smooth but super aggressive.
He's
It
pretty
was so
awesome
cool.
teacher.
Yeah.
He teaches a completely different way. I mean,
I
he
love
can work
it.
a 30-minute match and never hit the ropes. Make you think he's killing somebody. Yeah, he's great.
It's great. Yeah.
We've got to work a lot of different places because of our TV show. I get calls all the time. Nobody knows yet, but we're going to do Fun Fest in Kingsport.
Which is huge. That's going to be so
we
fun.
got that show and it's locked up. We're going to do the Mount Carmel Block Party, which is a free show to the public, but it's been good for us because it builds that fan base. But we put on a great show, and we've been to Florida and worked a huge car show.
Yeah, that was
down
amazing.
there. That was really cool.
Panama
there was
City
thousands
Beach.
of people there. We spent a couple days down there, the whole group of people here. We do a great show in Brazelton, Georgia, which
Yeah, we
is
do.
just unbelievable. Big crowd there. And I think the last time we did the Johnson City Community Theater, man, it was a sold-out house
Packed out.
there. It was unbelievable for our Christmas show that we do every year. So, we try to build traditions,
Yeah.
do things.
Shows that mean something.
Yeah. We do a lot of storylines here, and I know some of the people I've had complaints. Some of the people are not ready or they're not. But I'm kind of loyal to the people that come and train here
Yeah.
first, know, so and try to build them and give them the platform.
Right.
And use our numbers of people that we're associated with online to build their name and product. So, you know.
So what's the end goal? At the end of the day, if you look back on SOM and you can smile and be happy about it, what is it that you mainly want to accomplish?
Well, honestly, I hated the name to begin with. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
But I got talked into it,
Uh-huh.
And then we thought SOM and drop the E, and it's get some.
Right.
You know? So it's kind of stuck because people say SOM or some, or, you know, I mean, I think we got a hell of a brand.
Yeah.
And a logo, you know, that people know who we are, you know. And it's amazing because Ricky Morton came and he goes, man, but every time I go somewhere, people are asking about the White Claw Outlaws.
Right.
So, and he's like, man, it's unbelievable. He goes, everywhere I go. So you guys are building a brand name off of what we've already built.
Trying to, yeah.
Which is, it's not trying. I mean, it's actually happening. You know, it may be a slow go, but it's happening.
Right.
Know? The end game, you know, we want to be a huge promotion. You know, I mean, we really, truly do. It may take us a minute, but if we continue on the track we're at now, I think it might happen.
Yeah.
It just takes a lot of hard work, man, a lot of dedicated people to do this. It's not easy. It's a lot of work, a lot of hours. I mean, we all spend a lot of our time doing this to promote this thing. And
sacrifice.
hey, man, that's part of it.
Yeah.
You know, nothing good comes without sacrifice.
That's true.
So, you know.
So, I want to throw a curveball at you real quick.
Okay.
And I want you to reach around that curtain real quick, and there's something sitting there, and pull it back out here, and I want to talk about it real quick.
Okay.
Just a segue.
What are you talking about, this?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So one of the things that has surprised me about James Strange is the fact that you played and enjoyed this game on the PS1. Now this
loved it.
We got some Final Fantasy. This is like 7, right?
Yeah, it is. The best.
So how did that happen? How did you
My
get in?
kids, man.
Yeah.
My oldest son got me hooked on it.
Right.
You know, we played, and then I got hooked on it and started playing. It's like
Yeah.
Zelda.
Yeah.
The first Zelda, I got hooked on it and went all the way through it. I never
Right.
did beat that game. That's what
It's a
pisses
long
me
one.
off.
Yeah. So that's still, you don't even want to see this right
No,
now.
I
probably.
can't beat it. I've never. I've got to the end.
it's a
but
tough one.
Can't beat the, what is it, Sephiroth?
Sephiroth, yeah.
Sephiroth, yeah.
Yeah, he's a badass. So, yeah, I just wanted to come shake things up a bit. That was an interesting fact about James that I found out. And, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. You don't know the full story about people, and you're constantly surprising me with things. That was something that was a big surprise for me, and I greatly enjoyed the fact that you like that game, because so do I. But back to wrestling and like what you like outside of School of Morton and what we're doing here. What are you keeping an eye on? What are you entertained by? Right now in the wrestling climate, there's many options, and you can get to them instantly. What's catching your attention and you're actually investing in?
Well, really, I like AEW. I don't watch it when it comes on, but I'm DVRing it,
Yeah.
recording it, and then going back and watching it. I love their product.
Yeah.
I think it's interested me a lot. At one time, you know, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks kind of interested me in
The
WWE.
Women's Revolution period.
I thought they had some tremendous matches. I think maybe Charlotte's the greatest worker of all time. I
Wow.
really do. I think she's great. But she's a hell of a lot better maybe than her dad was, because she does some crazy, that moonsault
Yeah.
off the top rope, you know.
Wow.
Which we were at WrestleMania and saw that in Orlando when
Yeah.
she did it. It was, what a show. That's when the Hardys came back.
Yes. Oh,
Pretty awesome.
man. My band was actually playing downtown Orlando during WrestleMania.
Oh,
and
really?
We were done with a set. We had 2 planned that night, eating in a restaurant, and we heard, because we were so close to the arena, when they came out, we heard the pop.
Oh, it's
in town.
Yeah.
Over freeways and everything.
Yes.
Crazy. Stadium went crazy, right?
It was,
To be there had to be deafening.
oh, it was a moment. You know?
Yeah.
It was pretty surprising.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprised me. I was like, what happened?
It was pretty awesome. and then them winning the match.
Yeah.
Too. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But he busted poor Sheamus's eye open when he did the swanton off the top of the ladder. He had a huge place on his head where he busted him open. But no, that was a lot of fun. We got to go with Ricky. They were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And
Right.
what a great weekend. I mean, it was awesome. Really, truly. Really a lot of fun.
Wow. Well, thanks for opening up, sharing some stories with people, letting people get to know you a little bit better. I had a good time talking to you. This was a great podcast.
Appreciate it.
Glad to be a part of it. And tune in for the next one. Loaded Gun Chad Bartlett, James Strange.
Thank you guys. Come out and watch SOM.